Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am literally putting on my agronomist hat for this one, and I'd love for you to join me on what is honestly a pretty fascinating journey. We're going to directly analyze some fresh, just-tested fertilizer lab data. Why? To figure out exactly how one very specific scientific formulation drastically boosts not just crop yield, but crop quality too. We're looking at EDTA mix. It's this highly specialized blend of chelated trace elements. And, if you've ever wondered what separates a strictly okay harvest from a truly phenomenal, high-value harvest, I can tell you right now, it almost always comes down to the micro-level nutrition. It's all in the details. So let's dive straight into this and see what the science actually tells us.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. We'll kick things off with Section 1, into the lab. Then 2, unveiling the product, and 3, core ingredient analysis. After that, we'll look at the real-world field impact with 4, promote crop growth, and 5, improve crop quality, before wrapping up with 6, the future of agriculture.
All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, into the lab.
To really understand the impact here, we need to look at real, concrete data. We aren't dealing with theory today. We are analyzing a fresh, massive 5,000 kilogram batch of EDTA mixed granule fertilizer. The specific batch number is 2025-0309, manufactured right on March 9th, 2025. But here's the absolute kicker that I want you to pay attention to, the 2-year shelf life. Look, for farmers managing complex logistics across multiple growing seasons, knowing for a fact that your highly specialized micronutrients are going to remain completely stable and effective for 24 whole months, that is a massive operational advantage. Like I said, this isn't a textbook exercise. This is fresh, real-world data we're tearing into today.
Moving right along to Section 2, unveiling the product. When we look at the physical reality of this product, it actually takes 2 forms. On one hand, we have a pure green powder. It's incredibly fine, super consistent. And on the other, we have a granular structure. Now, according to the batch data we're pulling from, this is packed in 1 kilogram bags. And I'll tell you, that packaging choice, highly intentional. It ensures exact, incredibly measurable application for the agronomist out in the field. There's no guessing. Honestly, that sheer visual consistency is our very first indicator of a truly high-quality manufacturing process, long before this stuff even hits the soil.
Okay, Section 3, core ingredient analysis. Let's get to the fun part.
So, the crucial takeaway is sitting right here on this certificate of analysis. Seriously, look at the comparison between the required specs and the actual tested results. Our heavy-lifting growth engines didn't just meet the base requirements, they exceeded them. Iron was spec'd at 4.0%, but it actually tested at 4.2%. Zinc needed to be 5.0%, and boom, it came in at 5.1%. Magnesium and boron both tested at 2.1%, which is slightly above their 2.0% targets. Meanwhile, copper and molybdenum hit exactly on the mark, at 0.5% and 0.2%. The lab's conclusion is crystal clear here. The quality of this specific batch entirely conforms to and actually slightly beats the strict in-house specifications.
Now, looking at the relative ratios of these trace elements, you'll see zinc and iron are doing the vast majority of the heavy lifting. But the absolute percentages from the lab, that is only half the story. The real magic word in our source data is chelated, specifically EDTA chelated. The zinc, iron, manganese, and copper are all in this unique chelated state. Think of chelation like a microscopic protective organic claw that holds onto the mineral. Without it, trace elements just react with other random chemicals in the soil and get completely locked away where the plant can't reach them. This claw ensures they are perfectly proportioned and, far more importantly, immediately available for the plant to absorb right away. It's a total game changer.
Let's move to our next data point, which is absolutely critical for stability. The tested pH level of this mix, when it's in a 1% solution, is exactly 7.7. Now, why does that matter to us? Well, the safety specification range for this fertilizer is actually quite wide. It's anywhere between 3.0 and 10.0. Landing right at 7.7 means this solution is beautifully neutral, just ever so slightly alkaline, and sits perfectly inside that safe zone. This guarantees maximum chemical stability when the farmer is actively mixing it in the tank for application. No nasty surprises.
Which brings us nicely to Section 4, promote crop growth. Let's look at the actual fields.
Our source data explicitly highlights the incredibly powerful effects of chelated fertilizers on agricultural crops. I mean, think about it. When you introduce a highly absorbable 5.1% zinc and 4.2% iron straight into the crop system, it actively drives specific growth indicators. You fundamentally transform the physical appearance of the crop.
But why? Because it acts directly on chlorophyll enhancement. Iron and zinc are absolutely critical for a plant's ability to produce chlorophyll. And chlorophyll, that's basically the plant's solar panels. Better solar panels mean more energy, which directly, undeniably translates to a massive increase in your overall harvest yield.
Let's contrast exactly how this happens, because the difference is wild. Standard nutrient delivery is, frankly, incredibly inefficient. You apply your nutrients, and a vast majority is just lost to soil lockup or washed away by rain. It's throwing money down the drain. But chelated EDTA absorption flips the script. Like we talked about, the EDTA acts as a VIP escort, carrying the iron, zinc, and manganese straight past all those chemical barriers in the soil and delivering them right into the root system. This superior delivery efficiency is exactly why we see those explosive impacts on total yield. The plant actually gets to eat what you feed it.
All right, let's slow down a bit for Section 5. Improve crop quality.
So yield is great, but this right here is where farmers actually see their profits multiply. The data shows that chelated fertilizers induce profound internal quality transformations inside the plant. We're talking higher vitamin C levels, way richer sugar and protein profiles, and a serious increase in soluble solids. Plus, it improves the balance of nitrate-nitrogen. But honestly, the most economically vital point here is the superior storage quality. Think about it. A crop that looks amazing in the field but rots in transit is a total loss. By properly feeding a plant the exact trace elements it needs, you build fundamentally stronger cellular structures. That means your produce travels better, it stores longer on the shelf, and ultimately, it commands a premium price at market.
And finally, Section 6, Future of Agriculture.
Now, our sources noted a really interesting inquiry about applying the specific fertilizer to agricultural crops over in Southeast Asia. And while this particular batch report didn't contain localized field trial data for that specific region, the underlying agricultural science remains universally true. The precise chemical principles of EDTA mix, meaning delivering perfectly protected zinc, iron, manganese, and boron, make this formulation incredibly powerful for high economic value crops absolutely everywhere, regardless of the geography. Seriously, when you are growing high-stakes, high-value crops, precision nutrition is no longer optional. It is the absolute baseline for success.
Which brings us to our final thought for today's explainer. We've seen the lab results together, we've looked at the 5.1% zinc and the 4.2% iron, and we now understand how the EDTA chelation process absolutely guarantees delivery to enhance both massive yield and profound internal quality. So the question I'm going to leave you with is this: how will integrating these scientifically backed chelated micronutrients redefine the ceiling for your next high economic crop harvest? Because once you stop guessing and you start utilizing precision chemistry, the potential of your soil completely changes. Thanks so much for stepping into the lab with me today. Keep analyzing and keep growing.